again?
I've been offered film by thieves that work at different laboratories, projectionists, film collectors that know projectionists. A lot of things get thrown away in the trash cans, and hey, there's not a trash can out there around town that doesn't have a film collector lurking under it.
I have a list which came in the mail of films available. There are only 2 or 3 classifications. There are approximately 200 of them. Airport, Bonnie and Clyde, Blazing Saddles, Day of the Jackal, Frankenstein, Earthquake, The Exorcist, Emmanuel, which I'm sure was not yours, Jaws, Love Story, Patton, Rocky. It's still easy to get them when you want them. They told me in Los Angeles anything I wanted I could find within an hour or two.
That's right. Well, Mr. Reesner, I could give you a list this high of the busts that have been made by the FBI, prosecutions by the U.S. Attorney's Office, and for the first time in the last 6 months or so, and increasingly in the years ahead, they're going to jail for 1, 2, and 3 years, as well as heavy fines. It is no longer a playpen, where it used to be you would be caught for piracy, given a slap on the wrist, fined $250, and before you had a chance to get your money out of your wallet to pay the judge, you were operating again before the day was done. We're going to prevent that. That's going to be a thing of the past.
But Jack Valenti, his film security force, the FBI, all admit they catch less than 1 pirate out of 20. Piracy is not just a 1-cassette, 2-cassette business. Take Houston's Televideo Corporation. Houston's Televideo is not related to other televideo corporations around the country. Federal lawmen say Televideo Houston was perhaps the biggest pirate in the region, if not the country. But how it got into piracy tells a lot about a dog-eat-dog business. Leaf through an oil journal, and you would find this ad for Televideo. Licensed distributors, it says, and it began that way. The market was tanker crews at sea for weeks and months at a time, and drillers and roughnecks on platforms all over the world. Tens of thousands of separate locations. Their companies eager to provide stateside entertainment to keep up morale. Televideo went after that market with a legitimate contract to distribute Universal Pictures on video cassettes. It seemed unnatural. Televideo's owner is Ralph Smith. Back in 1975, he thought he would make a fortune leasing those movies. He wanted us to know that it didn't take long for him to learn that he could not compete with the pirates.
On my 3rd sales call. The first 2 I sold.
How did you find out about it?
The company that called me asked me to come down and talk to him about providing services to an operation in South America. He asked me how current my material was, and I said, well, it's very current. We have The Sting here with Robert Redford and Paul Newman. It's a 1974 release. We have The Execution of Private Slovic, which is a world television premiere. It's a 74 release. Very current material. He said, no, I mean very current. And in theory, they would throw a TV guide across my desk and say, this is the material we want. That's illegal. And the answer would be, well, thank you very much for your time. And you'd never hear from him again.
The odd twist is that long before the FBI raided Smith, Smith had gone to the FBI to try to crack down on piracy. These photographs are of a suspect Smith was dealing with on behalf of the FBI, trying to make a case against him. No arrests were made. And in the meantime, Smith says his customers were insisting on getting illegal material.
What do?
You cooperate.
And that cooperate,
well,
implies...
when you're in Rome, Harry, you do as the Romans do.
Last September 20th, the FBI raided Televideo.
Ralph, I've got some voluminous material here, which I guess is the inventory of what they took out of your shop in the raid. And one page has a listing of auto racing, Barbara Walters, Gene Kelly, Austin City Limits, Red Fox, Ben Vereen, all of which would seem to be television programs.
Yes, sir.
Not things you had gotten on license from Universal.
That's correct.
So this material was there.
Yes.
That would have been part of the technically illegal or competitively necessary things?
It would have been.
The film business is now warning the oil business, some of Smith's former customers, in trade journal ads that piracy means heavy fines and a term in jail.
When you tell an oil company, or let's just say a multinational corporation, that you can't do it, the next question is why? And because they feel the same way that I feel about it, if I don't do it, somebody else will do it. If no one will do it for them, they will do it themselves. And they are doing it themselves. Now, if it's illegal to tape a program off the air, then why does the U.S. government permit these machines to be imported into this country? Why do networks like your own advertise these commercials on television? If a consumer can do it, a corporation can do it. What is the difference between 100 people out there in television land taping a program off the air or me doing it for 100 people? The end result is the same. You still have 100 copies, don't we? The fact that I charged a fee, does that make it illegal? The fact that I do it commercially, does that make it illegal? Or the fact that I make a profit at it?
We remind you, the law says it is a violation to copy for profit or personal gain. As of now, Ralph Smith has not been indicted. Meantime, our own look into piracy at the retail level was continuing in New York. Producer Lowenwater and cameraman Peterson were asking Adwar Video's owner, Sam Adwar, whether he had been successful in the search for Superman. Adwar said he'd been offered Superman for $1,000. Said suppliers line up maybe 30 or 40 dealers like himself, deliver copies to all of them the same day, make $30,000 or $40,000, and disappear until next time. A few weeks later, I went down to meet Sam Adwar with cameras in the open.
Hi.
Okay.
Right.
I'm Harry Reasoner from 60 Minutes.
Hi.
We're doing a story on the selling of films and tapes that is unauthorized and probably
Maybe you
violated
should speak with
copyright
Mr.
law.
Adwar. He owns
Mr.
the
Adwar and Harry
company.
Reasoner at 60 Minutes. And my producer, Paul Lowenwater, came in and bought 36 cassettes, Grease, with no problem at all.
Right.
Boys from Brazil, Animal House. You sold them.
Right.
Where does this stuff come from in the
I
first
really
place?
can't say. I really can't say. It's many sources, I guess.
How many operations like yours in the New York City area? 100?
Well, there's got to be at least 100. And now we have every consumer dealer is doing that on the side, too, I'm sure of it.
Why do you do it?
It's a hard, it may be, it's something
Is it a
hard
favor
to...
for people? It's
Well, it started as a favor. It started out, people offering that, hey, going back many years ago, like Deep Throat was very common.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody wanted to see Deep Throat, and I got myself a copy, and before, a couple of friends asked me for it, I made him a copy.
You would think of yourself as a legitimate businessman,
Definitely.
running a nice business, making a little profit.
Right.
But you're technically flirting with a felony, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess so, right.
The film business is trying to tell the public that anyone who buys an illegal tape is dealing with a criminal. But the public appetite for tape material is creating a demand that people in the business find hard to resist. Here's proof. This copy of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, like a lot of films, was on cassette on the illegal market even before the film opened at theaters last year. And finally, Superman. We eventually managed to get this copy from a pirate who may or may not be raided one day. But we'll leave that story to Clark Kent.